Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan Randall. I am a doctor of physical therapy, an executive coach, and a proudly claimed Disney fanatic. And today I wanted to do a mini review on a book called Culture Reconstructed by Billy Bowie. And this is an amazing book, awesome book, talking about how you can build, construct, or reconstruct a culture that not only survives but thrives. And what he does is he lists out building blocks, 13 building blocks on how to build this culture. And I'm going to do a part series where I go over 3 blocks at a time until we reach the end and kind of explain, highlight the um, the building blocks and how you can build that culture. So building block number one, gather. Are you gathering together as a team? Are you bringing your people together? How often are you meeting? And he asked the question, are your meetings efficient? Are they productive? Um, are the goals clear in your meetings? Do they accomplish a certain task? And he goes through 3 things that you can do in order to elevate your meetings, or 3 things that you need to be aware of. But being, heart, and mind. And so being, what he means is well-being. Are you, and these are the kind of the practical tips for well-being. Are you taking care of your employees when you meet together physically? Are you making sure that the temperature is nice and is comfortable? Are you making sure that they have good seating, if the chairs are nice and comfortable? Is the place clean where you meet and that your team meets? Are you taking in consideration their physical health and how they feel during the meeting? Are you anticipating their reactions to maybe an agenda that you have on the table? Are you anticipating versus reacting to what complications may come up? So that's being, well-being. The next is heart. Are you emotionally aware of your team members? Are you taking their emotional state in mind? And this doesn't mean that you have to be that you are responsible for their emotional awareness and their emotional state at all times. No, this is talking about, are you just aware that they have emotions and that they can um, emote in some way where maybe they have trouble saying something to you or saying disagreement about a specific agenda? Do they feel safe and comfortable? That emotional aspect is the trust between employee to employer. Do they trust you? Do they know that you have their emotional well-being in mind? And then the next one, the third one, is mind. Are you getting and giving your employees opportunities to educate themselves? Are you advancing their minds and giving them opportunities to get that continuing education? Are you stating in the meetings that you are having the why before the what instead of the what before the why? Is your mission, is your value, is your vision, are they clear? And can your employees, can they articulate that? So becoming aware of the mental state of your employees and where they are at in their education is huge. Block number 2, care. Do you care for your employees? Do you care for your employees? Do you treat them the way that you would want to be treated? And this is such an important building block. Are you Are you taking the time to show your team, show your employees that you care? If you're walking down the hallway and say one of your employees, one of the janitors is there, and you continue on, but you do not say hi, you don't say how's your day going, but your heels continue to hit the concrete. What does that communicate to that employee? Does that communicate that you care for them? Does that, what is it that that communicates? Versus if you stop and tell that janitor, hey, how are you doing today? How's your family? How's your kids? How can I help you? How can I serve you? How does that communication compare to the communication before? Would one let the other person know that you care more than the other? So are you listening to your team? Are you hearing what they say? Sometimes the best ideas come from your employees when you listen to them and not just assume that they will say something or assume that they are on board when they very well may not be on board. Are you taking the time to hear their concerns, hear their complaints? Are you taking the time to hear their motivations, their vision, their values? How well do you know your team? And that correlates with how well do you listen to them. Do you welcome new team members? When you have people come on board, are you having a welcoming environment? Does that show your care? And how can you improve that? How can you improve the care quality of your teammates and your employees, and maybe employers? How can you show that you actually listen, actually are treating them with respect and with the dignity that they deserve? Block number 3 is hiring. So this is talking about the hiring process. And Billy Bowie describes the hiring process as, are you hiring the right people? Is your culture, is your vision clear enough to the person who is applying to that position to where they can tell it back to you clearly? Or are you getting people who aren't familiar with your mission and your values and your vision? Are you hiring people who aren't right for a specific job, who could be relocated or redeployed somewhere else? How much time are you spending in the hiring process? How much time are you making sure that you are actually hiring the right people for the right job? Are you shortcutting this building block? Are you shortcutting this process? Because if you are, then you may be making the culture detrimental, or you may not be making it as effective as it could be. So are you hiring the right people? Do you have a good hiring process? Is your systems in place where, hey, if you apply for this job here, you know my mission, you know my values, you know my vision, and you are on board with this culture? Because the best employers, the best companies have people who are on board, who are engaged, who are willing to bat for that company and bat for that team. So what is your hiring process like? These are the first 3 blocks. Stay tuned for the next 3 blocks in this video series. In the meantime, please let me know if you found value in this. Please check out my website, distinct-vantage.com, and I look forward to talking with you more about this wonderful book.